Welcome
Welcome
to Sleepdrunk.
to Sleepdrunk, where life really threw me a curveball earlier. And we'll get to that for discussion avenue.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yep. So, as mentioned on the last episode, this episode is going to be, I'm not going to say my guide to traveling in Thailand, because I didn't really travel through the whole country, but I guess just talking about my experiences, some of the things I wish I did, and some suggestions. And I think the kind of traveler that the region would suit, and I think at least Thailand as a country would suit. So once again, as a reminder, almost a month ago now, actually, it's been a little bit, I, with my family, took a vacation to Thailand, which was nice because it was the first family vacation I've taken in a very long time. Like, I think almost 6 years.
Yeah, I kind of feel that.
Yeah, we'd travel places, but always be to visit family or do something. It wouldn't just be for the purpose of visiting.
Basically what we do. We haven't gone on a good long vacation in a while.
Yeah, so that was my first one in a while. So I went to Thailand because flying from India to Thailand is relatively affordable.
Yeah, pretty close.
So I'm going to start off talking about Bangkok, which is the first city where I was. I stayed there for 3 nights. So I'm just going to take it step by step. First off, flying out of Delhi is just hard. It just is, especially at this time of year because of the weather. The weather's quite unpredictable, and smog can lead to very long delays and asthma attacks, which
just fun things
aren't fun. So that's how I started my trip off. I was sitting in the cabin of a plane, taking hits off my inhaler. That was fun.
Getting lit.
Yep. So, anyway, landing in Bangkok, I stayed, I want to say the region of the town, so Bangkok's divided to, different, district sectors, whatever you want to call them. So, I believe the district I was in was called Sukhumvit. It's like a touristy, it's not touristy, but it's one of the more, I think it's a diplomatic district, actually. Let me actually it's Pathum 1, by Lumpini. So if you know Bangkok, I stayed around there. So the first thing I would say is that Thailand in general is depicted as a very cheap destination, and it can be if you're smart. It's not the kind of place where you can go there and spend wantonly and still be cheap. There are some destinations where it's very hard to make them expensive. Thailand is not one of those places. I mean, it depends on where you are.
No, really, it's just hard.
Yeah. I mean, unless you got to pay for armed protection and a tank to ride in,
Okay, I mean, we're not talking about the
peninsula.
The peninsula in question. Yeah.
That may or may not be under Slavic occupation from a certain primarily Slavic nation.
Well, I mean, they're all primarily Slavic, I think.
Okay,
ethnically.
Whatever. Is it okay? I'm not too knowledgeable about Eastern European ethnic groups.
I'm not either. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so anyways, when I was in Thailand, one thing I will say, as a context here, once again, I did not explore all of Bangkok, all of Thailand, because I was traveling with my family, and all I'm gonna say is that clubbing with your 57-year-old father isn't the most appealing sounding thing.
Dude, I bet he'd be down.
Hobble into the club. From that context, there are some parts I'm not going to be able to get into because I didn't do them. So once again, this is not a comprehensive guide. This is just my experience. So when I went to Bangkok, my mother, who did the primary planner of the trip, she planned it around my aunt. Her cousin was also in Bangkok, so we're going to spend time together, the two families, like that. And the different thing is that they live in Bangladesh, in Dhaka. And just as a part of living in Bangladesh, it's harder to get certain things, like certain brands of clothes or just whatever. It's just, there's some things just harder to get, right, as a function of living in a developing country. And in my case, it's not that, because I live in the States. So, because I was bound to my lovely relatives who are wonderful, and they were doing a lot of shopping, because Bangkok has many malls. If you're even just, this is kind of a tangent, but not really because it's part of the segment, but even if you don't like shopping, a lot of the Bangkok malls just have really nice architecture. They're just really nice buildings to be in if you're into cool looking big buildings. There's a mall I believe it's called Siam Experience. It's a 6th floor mall, and
Jesus.
It's open air. So like you can like there's escalators just kind of going through the air like across the other side. It looks super cool, and there will be an album of photos I took on Instagram on this around the time the episode goes up, depending on the editing situation. So if you want to see pictures, I'll refer to the Instagram. You should go there, go to that, go to the album I made there. You can see lots of pictures that I took. Hopefully they're good. But so that being said, a lot of shopping. Like if you want to buy things, I will say the prices in Bangkok aren't too far from U.S. prices. I did the conversions. I think at the time I went, the conversion was about $1 to 29.9 and change Thai baht, so around 30 if you want to round up. So things are priced around the U.S. price. Like it's not that much more expensive. Like normally when you're shopping for a commodity or a good outside of the place it's manufactured, you have to like there's tariffs and everything slapped onto it. But in the
Those are always fun.
Yeah, in the case of Thailand, although also in Thailand, sales tax is included in the price. Like you don't have to calculate sales tax separately; it's just part of the price.
That would be really nice.
Part of it. It's so nice. It's like you don't like you just add up and you're done. No percentages, nothing. So
yeah,
that's one really nice thing is that all sales taxes are just included in the price. The price you see is the price you pay, like completely. So everything is priced around what the U.S. price. So if you live overseas, if you're one of our international listeners, which I know we have a decent size of, those are the kind of prices you can expect. They're roughly paired to U.S. prices. Not everything's the same, but in my experience, things like electronics, clothing, all of that is sort of maybe, if we're talking U.S. dollars, $1 or $2 either way. Maybe four either way. So prices are nice. That's a good feature. And the malls are also nice places to be in. I think it's cool. Although a shopping experience I really did enjoy was going to convenience stores because, for those of you who don't know, in Eastern Asia, like going like not South Asia or Central Asia, but in like Eastern Asia, like Thailand going towards like China, Japan, Korea. Not sure about China, but Japan, Korea. Convenience stores are very different from what people in the West understand them as. Like, normally, if you go to a 7-Eleven, for example, which is very popular in Thailand and Japan, Korea, if you go to 7-Eleven in the States, you'll get, like, when I go, like, some candy, a soda, maybe a hot dog. Like, it's not a place you go for, like, a full meal. In Thailand, it is. You can get, like, a full, proper meal for a very low price. Like, a very, very low price. Like, a full, proper, filling meal.
Yeah, I've heard about that in Japan, but I didn't know that was like a whole just Asian thing.
I mean, it's different degrees in different places, but it's there in Thailand. I don't think it's as big as it is in Japan. Like, it's not the same degree of selection. It's kind of in the middle, but it's still the point where, this is coming back to the idea of being cheap. If you wanted to, you could comfortably and happily, like, live off of 7-Eleven meals for the entire stay there. Like, you wouldn't even feel bad. You can, like, you'd save a ton of money. You'd be super comfortable. Yeah, they're great.
Not even like that Burger King feel.
Yeah, no, you'd be good. The fact is, you can get rice balls, which are great, like onigiri, which is like a Japanese. It's basically like a Japanese ball of rice, but it's a triangle. It's like rice with something in it wrapped in seaweed. You can eat one or two of those. Most people just eat one, and then that's a meal, and like you still feel good because it's mostly just rice. So yeah, you'll be good. Like the food's not very greasy, it's not very heavy. It's fine. So that is a recommendation if you want, like if you're traveling to Thailand and you want to save on food, that's something you can do. But I honestly wouldn't recommend that because Thai street food is very good and generally very safe. Like, I ate a ton of street food and it was fine. And it's absolutely delicious. Some of the best food I've ever had. Like, street food, also super cheap. So you have your street food, you have, like, convenience stores. Food is not expensive. Food is affordable. It's very affordable, and it's good, which I think is a huge bonus. Especially because Thai cuisine in general is very good. Like, it's one of the, like, more widely... It's not as, like, prolific as, like, the big Western traditions or, like, Chinese food, but it's a pretty good cuisine overall. But I'm also not a culinary expert, so don't quote me on anything. Anyway, what was I talking about? So, yeah. So that's one aspect of where things can be affordable. So, once again, you can shop a lot if you want to do that. If you want to save money for shopping, you can eat 7-Eleven food. Transport is also relatively affordable if you know how to ask and how to haggle. And that's one skill. There's two big skills I think you need to go into Thailand with. One is the ability to haggle. You should know how to haggle. And also the ability to communicate non-verbally. Because I think first off, not like English is spoken, but not great. Like, you have to be able to communicate with limited English and through like signs and everything. not like sign language, but just general nonverbal communication, and you should be able to haggle, because in most cases, especially if you look like a tourist and you're going to on something that doesn't have like a sticker price, you're going to be upcharged. So, for example, transportation, right? So there's a few different methods of transportation in Bangkok, and this applies to the other thing we're going to talk about later, Phuket. It's a similar array of transportation. There is like cabs you can get. You can get tuk-tuks, which are the like little bike cart things that you see that are associated with Asia quite often. And
motorcycle cars.
Yeah. I don't know. See, I've always called them CNGs because that's what they're called in Bangladesh. So, like, that's what I'm used to. And they have different names everywhere. Yeah. It's a 3-wheeled vehicle. You'll know it when you see it. So with those, you can haggle the price down quite a bit if you know how to haggle. Those are one of the big things where it can be very cheap if you haggle it down. And those are also really fun. Like, it's just cool to ride in them. I like it.
Yeah.
And then in Bangkok, you can also take the Bangkok train system, which is very good. It's honestly, in my opinion, better than the DC Metro. Like, a lot better. Great, super easy, very, very cheap. Very cheap. Like,
but this is a 7000 series train.
Good God. The 7000 series trains aren't too bad. They're fine.
They're nice, but like,
they're nice.
I get that it's a 7000 series train. Apparently it's like an accessibility thing.
Yeah. I'd argue that the Bangkok trains are comparable, if not better, to the 7000 series trains. They're a bit more crowded, though. And also, it's like very, very cheap. Like, I'm talking, me and my brother went on one, and we paid like 14 baht total, which is like 14 over 30 is not a lot of it's cents, literal cents. It's very affordable. So that's a prime way to get around if you want to do that. I recommend that. One thing we did that wasn't shopping, which I actually really, really did enjoy, was we went to the Thai Royal Palace, which was incredible. It was really good. I highly recommend going. I recommend getting a guide, but if you can, like, don't go through a tourist agency. See if you can haggle something, or if you know someone in the city, like we did, because we're lucky. I think one of my mom's friends was in town, so friend of a friend. She managed to get us a good deal on a guide. But a guide is nice because they kind of point out the cultural significance of various things, because it's a weird place because of how it was set up. It's like a mixture of a bunch of different types of architecture. I'll see if I can link some resources in the show notes, because I don't know that much about it. I don't want to make any false claims. But that was super cool. I recommend doing that a lot. Like, there'll be a ton of pictures from there on the Instagram album, which you should check out at Sleepdrunk PC. Also our Twitter. You can tweet us there. There's the plug. Tweet us at Sleepdrunk PC.
Yeah, definitely do those things. Those are really cool. Like, it just instantly makes you a cool person, and everybody will love you.
Exactly. And you can show them to your friends and be like, hey, this really cool podcast I listened to, one of the hosts went to this place and it's cool. So yeah, tweet us at Sleepdrunk PC. Check out the Instagram for the album. So
yeah.
Anyway, the Royal Palace was super cool. There's a lot of gold. That's just a thing in general. A lot of like older Thai architecture, classical Thai architecture uses a lot of gold paint. But so there's like architecture that's made from Thailand. There's also Chinese architecture there that like they brought in Chinese architects. There's like model scales. There's a bit of Indian architecture mixed in as well, because an interesting cultural thing about Thailand is that it is at the crossroads between Hinduism and Buddhism. And because of that, there's a lot of Hindu influence in a lot of parts of like Thai life and Thai history. For example, the title of the king of Thailand, and fun fact, they are a monarchy. The title of the king is Rama, which comes from the Hindi epic, or Indian ancient epic, the Ramayana. He's the protagonist, and so like they take the name Rama followed by like a letter, a number. So I think the current one's Rama 10, and he has a normal name as well. And he lives in Switzerland. So if you get this reference, you're cool. But it's like how the Sultan of Oman lives in Zanzibar now. That's just where he lives.
Yes, you are cool if you get that reference.
you're definitely cool. Or you're Bill Wirtz. And if you're Bill Wirtz and you're listening,
you're definitely really cool.
Hit us up. We'd love to talk to you, do an interview.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Bill Wirtz. If you know Bill Wirtz, hit us up. But yes, the Sultan of Oman lives in Zanzibar now, and the King of Thailand lives in Switzerland now. That's just where they live. Yeah. So
units there.
Let me check my notes on Bangkok, which I took on my phone when I was there. Nice small. Oh, also, one other thing. If you are of the inclination to purchase goods of questionable origin that may or may not be of certain brands, there's a place called MBK. You can purchase many things there for very low prices. Prices that might be a little bit suspect, but you know what? The only person that knows is you, as long as it is.
If it says it is, it is.
Yes. It's definitely a Gucci bag you're buying. definitely a $20 Gucci bag.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's a place. I did go there just like to explore, and there's a lot of like just generally interesting stuff there.
Did you get a $5 Gucci belt?
I got a $4 Supreme shirt. A Supreme box logo sweater.
I remember that.
That will also be on the Instagram. That's great. Probably the best purchase I've ever made. It's large, but all of the shirts there were the same size, even though they were labeled differently.
I would expect nothing less.
Yeah. And also bring good walking shoes, because I did a lot of walking. I think my brother tracked it, and like in a day we did like 13 miles. So bring good walking shoes. I was wearing Chelsea's, and as much as I love wearing my Chelsea's, they have a limit. Towards the end it was
Couldn't
bad.
imagine walking 13 miles in Chelsea's.
I've
done 12 and a half in proper hiking shoes, and my feet were in pain.
Yeah, so anyway, so after we were done in Bangkok, we traveled to Phuket, which is a kind of like a beach city. And with the name Phuket, I'm sure some of you have been alluded to certain industries, which Thailand may or may not be known for.
I mean, honestly, the other one, like I said last time, could be too, but...
Yes, Bangkok as well, but Phuket. Here's what I will say in regards to that. It is there. It is accessible if you want it, but it is not in your face. If you want to engage in that realm which is legal in Nevada, you can go for it. I've heard the prices are good, apparently. That's why it's very big. But it's not in your face, and you have to go look for it. And apparently, if you take a vehicle there, they'll ask for commission, so you should take transport nearby and walk. That's all the advice I'll give on that front, because I have no experience with that, because it was a family vacation, and generally it's not my arena. That's not a trade I'm interested in. So if you want to do that, it's there. It is an option. Legal at sleepdrunk.net. We're not suggesting you do anything that may or may not be involved with this trade. Legal at sleepdrunk.net.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. So regardless, we went to Phuket. We had an adventure. So my mom, who booked was the planner for the trip, she booked the hotels as well, right? First of all, we got great, fantastic, highly recommend. It's the Duchess Hotel in Bangkok. It's a hotel/apartment complex. So we know someone that lives there. A friend of my mom's friend, who's now our friend. So she got us a discount. But great hotel, highly recommend. So in Phuket, my mom found a hotel online. And in India, there is a travel company. It's kind of like Trivago. It's called Oyo. And they also like sponsor certain hotels. And so my mom, seeing the Oyo branding, thought this was an Oyo, like Oyo ran the hotel, but they were actually just sponsoring it. And it had very nice photos on Google, very, very nice photos, lovely photos. You know, when we got there in person, after a good flight, we took Thai Airlines, also good airline, highly recommend. We got there, took a cab to this hotel. Cabbie couldn't find it, which was our first red flag. He couldn't find it, so that had me a bit worried. And then when he asked the local, we're like, okay, he gets the knowledge, and it turns into a back alley. Still kind of worried. More worried now, because we're in a back alley. I'd say. And we pull out into this really grimy parking lot where we watch a cat chase a cockroach around. Don't buy cheap shit. That's what I'll say. So we very quickly saw the place and realized this establishment may not cater to our preferences. So we go online in the parking lot of this establishment, which was not very pleasant. I don't want to shit talk. I don't want to talk down on any on the establishment. It has its niche. We weren't in that niche, so it was not the best. So we did a bit of research. And we found another place, and then I think we stayed one night in another hotel, which was fine. Like it's a fine, perfectly serviceable hotel. But then my dad got in contact with the local Hyatt. There's a Hyatt place there, which is like their budget-ish line, I think. And so when my dad travels, my dad travels a lot for work. So whenever he always just stays at a Hyatt if he can, and he builds up a lot of points with them as a result. So we cashed in on some points, and that's where we stayed. It was lovely. Highly recommend again. Really nice hotel. So that's where we stayed. And in regards to Phuket, it's a beach town, so it's like general beach stuff. Watch out for jellyfish, because there are jellyfish in the water. You know, Don't eat
Chilling,
sand.
booling.
Yeah, don't eat sand. Don't drown yourself. Don't harass people.
Don't drink salt water.
Yeah, but what I will say is that Phuket is itself an island, right? Like Phuket Island is like the main island, but there's some other islands nearby. If you can, I'd highly recommend taking a trip out to one of the further out islands because they're just a lot less tourist infested. Like all of the main beach areas on Phuket Island are very tourist heavy, and as a result have all of the woes of heavy tourism, i.e. trash, and like it's not horrible by any means. It's not like unserviceable, but like you understand it's a tourist place. Like you feel that. So I think we went to a beach on Kohe Island, which is one of the adjacent islands, which was absolutely lovely. I did some snorkeling. I saw a fish that looked like a Yeezy, and I was like, it's a Yeezy fish. He looking pretty fire dough. I didn't step on a sea urchin. Made me want to die too. And also, you don't even need to really pay to go out snorkeling. Like, so we actually went with a tour. Like, the only way we could access the island was like with a tour, like a tour company. So we went with them. And part of the package was like they'll take you out to a snorkeling area. Like they'll take you out on a boat to like a proper snorkeling reef. I was going to go, but they didn't have masks that worked with glasses. And because there's jellyfish in the water, I didn't want to snorkel without my glasses in case I like didn't see one and then it annihilated me. So I didn't end up going, but I just snorkeled just by the beach, and even there, lovely. Like it was great. It was beautiful. There were tons of fish. I saw some parrotfish, which is really cool. They're really colorful. I saw a Yeezy fish who was looking kind of fire dough. I'm
gonna stab my eye out. Did you drive from Bangkok to Phuket?
Oh, we took a flight. We took a flight.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Thai Airlines. Good stuff.
It looks like a long way.
Yeah. No, we took a flight. Flight was like 2 hours, I think. It's perfect.
A long way on like third world-ish roads. That is.
Yeah. No, the highways in Thailand are pretty good actually. There's pretty solid infrastructure. Another thing, if you want to drive, you can. It's not like how the roads are not perfectly ordered, but it is much easier than something like, let's say, Delhi, where driving will give you an aneurysm. Gotcha, yeah. Yes, but my big recommendation for Phuket is if you can go to one of the islands. Another popular one is called Phi Phi Island, Phi.
They just have some A1 names there, don't they?
Yep. See, I think a lot of it is just the fact that, like,
is this a meme?
Kind of a meme. But I think a lot of it is just that, like, people accustomed to Romance languages and Germanic languages just can't pronounce a lot of the words and letters in Thai. Like, it's a very difficult language to speak. And so I'm sure for them, they can't even, like, it's a huge difference. Like, it probably sounds totally different than, like, PP and PP. But yeah, you can go to PP Island, take a PP, take some PP pictures. So yeah, great. But island, that's my only really big recommendation is go out to an island if you can. Also, seafood's great as always. Like I think most beach places have good seafood. So yeah, seafood if you like seafood, unless your name is Michael and you don't like seafood.
Wow, he's wrong. pretty lame, isn't he?
Yeah. Also, I grabbed some coral while I was out snorkeling. This just reminded me of something.
It's illegal.
Well, no, it was like dead coral, but so it was like in the sand on the bottom. So I got some coral, and I felt it like coral polyps, right? So the animal that actually creates the coral like structure. They're these little like tiny like bug dudes. They're not actually bugs. They're like mollusks. They're something, but they can sting, right? But what we saw was dead coral, so I thought, okay, it's fine. So I picked it up, and like my hand felt a little bit prickly, but I didn't think anything of it because I was like, oh, it's probably just like placebo. Like it's probably not. It's probably just me thinking it's probably alive. Like I get in my head like that sometimes. But so I picked some up, right? And so we got a bunch of different pieces of coral, and took it back to the stores. When we took it back to Delhi, we decided to wash it, and when we washed it, we saw the little coral polyps come out and like swim around, which was really weird. Like they survived for that long.
Yeah, it stung you.
Yeah, it stung me a little bit. So yeah, coral. Be careful when you pick coral. Also, watch out for cone snails because they have a 65% like 65% of people stung by them die. Watch out for cone snails.
That doesn't sound very fun.
Yeah, like they have a really rapid acting venom that it paralyzes a fish in 13 seconds and then they eat. So watch out for cone snails. Also sea urchins. Don't step on those. That sucks. Jellyfish. General beach etiquette.
This is just Diet Australia, I guess, then.
Yeah. Diet Australia. Also, if you're also... You can probably look this up, but as I'd say, drinking age is 20 if you're curious, so... Take with that what you will. Although I think it's a very narrow group of people.
Yeah, really.
Like, I think...
It's like, this applies to
It's basically one age group of Americans, I think. That's it. Yeah, it's one age group of Americans, and then a few age groups of Indians, although in India the drinking age isn't really strongly enforced. So, yes. But that's the drinking age if you're curious. That about wraps up my thoughts. Also, in Phuket, another thing is, if you speak Russian, it might be useful because there's a lot of, like, Russians there. It's a big Russian tourism spot. Because when I think about it, what are the nearest beaches
I guess.
from
Like, that's
Moscow?
that's the place that they're gonna go to.
Yeah, like, it's the nearest beach.
Yeah, you know, St. Petersburg, big tropical location.
Yeah, big tropical location, like deep in Siberia. Great beaches.
Yeah, great beaches up there.
Yep, snow beaches.
On the Arctic Ocean, you know.
All right. So
go up there and bool on that radioactive island.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, you'll be warm. You will be warm. The radiation.
Yeah,
will
you'll
keep
be warm. You can go see the Sarbamba crater. See how long you can stay there without dying.
Yep. So with my discussion on Thailand clarified, I think it's time we pick up the questionable gender individual of the night, or questionable sex individual of the night, of chat, and take them to the back alley hotel room of debate that lies on Discussion Avenue.
Absolutely, yes. Yeet.
So Alex, how's your week been? I'll let you. I've been talking, so I'll let you go. Go ahead.
My week has been well, I've been doing a little bit more than I have been over the rest of break. That is, I've been doing things instead of not doing things. So
as you do.
Yeah. So definitely, since the last recording, I've been taking on a few projects more. I was looking at making a little device to stick in my mailbox to sort of like let me know when it's open. That way I know if the mail ran and they didn't come up here, because like we have deliveries from basically like it is an absolute anomaly if we don't have a delivery from every major carrier in any given week. But say the mail doesn't come up here for one day, we want to know when the mail ran, right? So like gotta put this little boy in the box. So I've been working on that, and I think I know how I'm gonna do it, but I just don't have the time and energy to be working on that right now.
Understandable.
Yeah. Trying to think what else. I got a little... I might have said this on the last one, but I got a little thing to interface my car to my phone for amateur radio. APRS, if you know what that is. Probably not. And that's pretty cool. It was like, it arrived surprisingly fast. Like I got free, cheap eBay shipping, first class mail from California. It was here in like 2 or 3 days.
Wow, that's good. That's really good.
Yeah, so that's good.
Free eBay shipping?
Yeah, free eBay shipping, fast and free. It was like a little cord, so.
I think for me, my fast and free from Florida took 5 days, which is
it all depends on what you're getting.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, that's
but
nice.
I'm doing lots of stuff with that. With I'm loving my digital radio that I talked about the last 2 times. It's wonderful. After going digital, I don't think I'm gonna spend too much time on analog that much anymore. You know. Let's see. Got me a dentist appointment. That was really fascinating. I went and sat in a chair and people were like touching my teeth and stuff. That was kind of weird.
Nice.
Yeah. And then another appointment, and then we went to my brother's house and stayed there for his birthday. Actually, okay, we went to my brother's house last Sunday and we were just kind of like chilling with him. That was his day off. And you know, we set up his new TV for him. TVs are so cheap now. We got him he got him for his birthday. It was like a 55-inch TV with a Roku basically built into it. $300, 4K.
Okay.
You got a TV stand, so that's all set up now. And then we went up again on Thursday, which he had off just so he could get some stuff done, because like that's crazy working 6 days a week, 10 hours.
Does not sound
like,
fun.
Yeah, and his one day off was Sunday, so like he just couldn't get anything done. So like he had to go get his truck inspected and get a haircut and stuff. So yeah, that day off, and then we went up and kind of hung with him for his birthday. Went and got dinner. That was nice.
That's good.
I really love that area of Virginia. And also this week I've sort of been working on a new project. So I've never been one of those people to be all into the privacy scare. Like you always see, everybody always freaks out about, oh, look at all this stuff that Facebook can track about you, and then no one really actually cares. They just act like they're scared, and they keep using Facebook, and then they're surprised.
I feel like it's one of those things where either you care a lot about it, like most people, not everyone, but like there's the camp where you care a lot about it obsessively, or you have no idea and you don't care, like you just don't know.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I've always been like firmly in the middle.
Yeah,
like it's like I don't like that, and I resist it when I can, but like I don't really. Yeah. I never did really, I guess, care that much.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That sort of thing's just never really gotten to me. I've always just sort of been like mostly aware of it, but never the full extent. But it didn't really matter that much to me. Go ahead.
See, I've always been a relatively private person. Like, even before the era of the internet, and, like, even since I was a kid, I've been a relatively private person. And so I never used social media that much, so I don't think I ever gave them that much to work with.
Yeah, I don't really either, so that's something I don't have to adjust to, I guess. But
yeah, continue.
About all I use is Snapchat, but anyway. I don't know, I was watching a Modern Road video, as you do, and it just sort of, like, hit me, and I was just sitting there thinking about it, like, that's really weird. Like, just the sheer amount of things that can be tracked about you and that are all used to sort of monetize you, like just what you stop scrolling over, or what your mouse hovers over, or all the different sites that you see, like cookies that are stored in your browser and do that, and all of your online shopping habits and everything you do. And I don't know, like, that was just really the first time that I was like, okay, this kind of got to stop.
Yeah.
So I was looking at it, I'm like, man, there's a lot of things I gotta give up and I gotta get used to. But honestly, like, I've found that my transition away from using lots of Google services has really not been that tough. So I switched away from Chrome, which was the one I was really worried about. But honestly, in the last few years, Firefox has gotten really good.
Yeah.
And obviously Mozilla, the creators of Firefox, they're a nonprofit, and their whole sort of mission is
all privacy
consciousness. That's just their thing.
That's their narrative.
Mozilla, or not Mozilla, but Firefox is just a wonderful browser because it has all of the features that we know and love from Chrome, but it's made by an organization that's all about privacy and stuff. So you can still have your synced bookmarks, your synced tabs, really all the features of Chrome, and even in a 64-bit browser, which is something that Chrome always lacked, all in Firefox. And Firefox has a beautiful modern UI and all of the bells and whistles and all of the same add-ons. I was able to get the Zotero research plugin. I can still use my uBlock origin, and it's great. I actually have the developer edition for my laptop because I do lots of web dev work, so it's perfect for me. And on my phone, the app is not as good, but it's still really good. And then they have the preview app, which they're going to sort of make the mainstream app become soon. But there's still enough bugs with it where I want to use the older one. And there's still currently not a full dark theme, but really the only thing that affects is the address bar when you're in a page, and that's not even there most of the time. So not a huge deal. And it actually supports all add-ons, I believe, from the regular edition. Like, I have uBlock Origin on my mobile Firefox, which is kind of crazy. But I love that. If you're not aware, uBlock Origin is like the god of all ad blockers. Yes. Well, and Firefox has built-in tracking stoppers. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you are on iOS, AdGuard is also really good, just because it is a system ad blocker. Like, it's not just your browser; it is anything that uses the internet, I believe. So that's really nice. If you're on iOS,
yeah, you can also get other things, like you can get a cheap Raspberry Pi and set it up as a Pi hole, which is like a DNS resolver, which sort of just blocks known ad servers. And most things it really doesn't even break. So That's another option to look at if you want to sort of protect your whole home network.
Yes.
From ads. But yeah, I also switched to DuckDuckGo. I'm one of those people. And honestly, like, the quality of the search results, I was expecting them to not be that great. They are, like, just following behind Google level.
Yeah. I heard DuckDuckGo is very good.
DuckDuckGo is wonderful. And
what about Baidu?
oh my god, yeah. Let me just have the Chinese Communist Party just like filter out what I see. Like, that's really cool and
like
stuff.
Winnie the Pooh doesn't exist.
Yeah, that never happened. What is that? What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Just like June 4th and 5th in 1989.
Yeah.
Tiananmen Square. Everybody was just chilling, like every other
just
day.
hanging out. Like, it's like it just says like June 4th, 19 whatever the year was, a totally normal day.
A totally normal day.
Yeah, but continue.
Yeah. So where was I? Oh yeah, on my phone. It was actually, because I use Nova Launcher, it was sort of easy to switch it over too. As far as the search engine goes, I just sort of changed the. I hold tapped on the Google search bar and hit replace, and then just changed it to the Firefox search bar widget, and that just opens up DuckDuckGo and Firefox. So
nice.
That's cool. And I'm still working on a few other things. One of the things that I've always used, and lots of people actually like, that's what the thing that they find the most creepy about Google, and I've sort of just found it useful enough to where I didn't want to disable it, is the location history, or also known as your timeline in Google Maps. It's sort of just like it tracks everywhere you go, but to me it's useful because I can see where I was at any given time. Like, I don't know. But I set up a really complicated overkill thing yesterday on my private Linux server called Tracker, spelled TRACCAR. And I believe it will be a good replacement to it. Obviously, that's more of an advanced user thing, and I don't know of any alternatives, but I also don't think that's a very common thing that people want. Yeah. Something to, like, log where they are.
Yeah.
But, you know, for me. So, as of now, the only thing that I think I'm going to keep with Google, and yet again, it is something that they can look through and do all their Google things with, get their sticky Google hands all over, is Google Drive, because it's just kind of a necessity.
I think also, like, YouTube. I don't think there's any...
And Google Maps and YouTube, yeah. Like, those three core things are what I'm gonna keep my Google account for. And there it is, listening to me. I should throw that thing away. Hey Google, stop. And it seriously just did that.
And now we are being tracked. We're getting a copyright striked. We're getting a copy striked by Maroon 5.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would sure hope that they don't go back to all of our previous songs of the day and do all that BS.
Yeah. Yes.
But yeah, I would recommend it. And honestly, it's just sort of a freeing feeling knowing, like, when you go to DuckDuckGo and look stuff up, nobody's tracking that information about you. Like, anytime I was looking up something that I didn't want people to know about me, or I wanted to keep private, I'd always go to an incognito tab, and then that being Google's browser, you don't really know if it's actually not tracking you.
Yeah.
And also another creepy thing I'll bring up later.
We should do a privacy
bring
episode.
Up now. We should. We can go more into this and recommend things.
Yes.
But there's ways for people to identify you even if you think that you're signed out of everything and you're using a private browser. Like, they can still just use your user agent and the plugins that you have enabled in your browser, and that narrows you down.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just been a really good freeing feeling.
Yeah. And I think if you are in the Apple ecosystem, it's, if anything, a bit easier. Like, because, for example, I'm probably going to switch to using Safari, because the thing about Apple, since they're not a software company, they're a primarily hardware company. Safari is, to my knowledge, about as non-invasive as Firefox, maybe a little less.
But also Firefox uses that WebKit though.
Yeah, but it's a matter of I already use Safari. Safari's my default browser.
Actually, Safari uses WebKit too, doesn't it?
I think so. I'm not sure. I'm not a web guy.
I guarantee you that the Firefox is going to have a better add-on support and JavaScript engine, but
I'm saying for an average user, though, I think average users don't really do that much with add-ons and plugins, I think. I'm considering switching to Safari just because I think all of the plugins I do use, I could probably find a way to make work. I haven't looked into
Origin and Zotero, those are my two. I'm sure they're probably your two.
Yeah. I mean, that, and also some VPN stuff. Also, this episode is brought to you by
that's another thing. I already had a sub to PIA, and I just, like, I don't know why I never thought to install the app on my phone. I always just kind of like did it manually through the Android VPN menu, but the app makes it so easy, and I just have a VPN on full time on my phone, and I have it set up with OpenVPN on my laptop, but it has some like connection issues. I should try their app for Windows.
Yeah. Although also a really good free VPN, I think Hotspot Shield is probably the best free VPN. Like,
it does do ad injection and probably tracking though, but like it is free and it is a VPN.
Yeah, I think so. If you want a VPN and you want something free, I think it's the fastest free VPN I've used.
If you're going to use Hotspot Shield, make sure to put HTTPS everywhere in your browser so they can't be doing their ad injection BS.
Yes. So, yeah. One thing, I am probably going to pick up... I've been looking at a few different options. I might get ExpressVPN. I think that might work a bit better for me, but I'm still exploring. But yeah, this episode is brought to you by ExpressNord Internet Access. You can get 13 months free.
ExpressNord Internet Access?
Yes, you can get 13 months free with a 3-decade package. Use code Sleepdrunk at checkout. But yeah, that's our sponsorship.
Use code PP at checkout.
Yeah, use code PP at checkout. If we ever get sponsors, that's going to be our code. It's going to be PP.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah. So yes, ExpressNord Internet Access .ru
.tz.
I'll make my discussion avenue a bit real quick. My week, I was going to say it was very uneventful until it wasn't. So we were supposed to record this episode about just around 12 hours ago, something like that, 12-ish hours ago, maybe 13 or 14. But I've mostly just been spending time with my family, prepping for my audition. I'm flying out tomorrow night for me. I think it's going to be tomorrow morning in the States. I'm recording on Saturday, so I'll be flying out then. And last night, before we were going to record, we're going to record my morning on Saturday, and it was your evening. So the night before, I was doing my thing, getting ready for bed. Long story short, I had to make a quick little ER visit, late night ER visit. Everyone's fine. No one's hurt. Everyone's good. The issue that led to the ER visit is very easy to take care of. So the person who required the ER visit is just on some basic meds until the issue is taken care of. But it's a very simple issue, very easy to take care of. But ER visit had to be made. So yeah, that was fun. That was up really late, and because of that, I ended up sleeping really late because I was up really late. But yeah,
were you able to get to the good hospital, or did you have to go to one that was really close?
We were lucky we have a good one close to us. So yeah, because we live in a diplomatic area, so like there's good ones. Yeah. So it was good. It was totally fine. Staff was really nice, and also very, very like this was a good hospital, very cheap. Like the whole trip was $20.
Really?
And this included walking in. They got the individual.
There were doctors involved too,
yes,
probably not just
doctors.
nurses. Yeah.
Yes, doctors. The person was administered the medication they needed. Full visit. They got a tentative diagnosis in. And discharged that night, $20.
In the United States, that would easily be $20,000.
Yeah, not even kidding. It was very cheap, so that's great. Like, we didn't even need to put on insurance because, like, this is $20. Like, it's not even worth filing with the insurance at this point.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just like it's worth $20 of my time.
Yeah. So that was great. Shout out to Primus Super Specialty. Good people, good staff. Got taken care of very quickly, very thoughtfully. Great, awesome. So yeah,
well, I'm glad that all worked out.
Yes. So other than that, just been getting ready to pack up. I'm gonna do most of my packing tomorrow because I have an evening flight, which is nice. Most of my flights are they're almost always red eyes, which is it's nice to have a non-red eye flight for a change. So yeah.
Still be dealing with some jet lag when you get back here.
I mean, I've actually been trying to adjust my sleep schedule a little bit. And luckily, coming back to the States, the jet lag isn't as bad as going to India because of like how the time change works.
Well, still, you'll be dealing with it over your first week of classes.
Yes, because I'm landing the day before class starts. Like I think by the time I get to our apartment, I will have under 24 hours until my first class, or just about 24 hours until my first class. So
yikes.
Yeah, I have many things to do in that time, which will hopefully keep me awake. But yeah, other than that, thank you for listening to this episode of Sleep Drunk Podcast.
Yeah, definitely make sure to share the show, like we said earlier. You can do that on Instagram, Twitter with our pages, or you can just tell your friends and family, whoever you think would enjoy it. Yeah, WeChat, definitely your whole MySpace circle, and one on Google Plus.
Baidu. Give us a Baidu ad.
Yeah, buy us a Baidu ad. Go on Weibo.
Like add your next Venmo
all of your friends 1 cent and say check out Sleepdrunk. Yeah, and the Sleep Drunk podcast can be found on all of your favorite podcasting platforms. Make sure to tell them that. And those include Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, and many more, probably.
And we'll catch you next week.
And yeah, we'll catch you next week.